Hi everyone, Steve here at ATB Guitars in Cheltenham, and this is another top 5 guitars of the week. So first up we've got this big hitter from 1958. This is a Gibson Les Paul Custom, as you probably will know. A 3 pickup model, which was standard at the time. So you have 3 long magnet PAF pickups. It sounds great. It's a really, really cool playing and sounding guitar. Not only that, it's what we call investment grade, so it's in super clean condition, all original besides a refret, and it comes complete with its original case, and also hang tags, which is cool. So this would have been nicknamed the Fretless Wonder. They were released with very slim, very low frets, which suited a lot of players at the time, but by today's standards, with string bending and various different things that modern players like to do, a lot of people had them refretted over the years. So that's the only change on this one. Otherwise, it's 100% original. Another cool thing about the Custom from this period, or with 3 pickups, is that the 3-position switch doesn't necessarily work how you'd first think. The treble position is the bridge pickup on its own. Neck position is the neck pickup on its own, but the middle position is the bridge and the middle pickup together out of phase. So it gives you a really nice kind of quacky, almost Strat-like, but with a bit more kind of punch to it. So it's a really usable sound. Back off some of the tone on the bridge pickup, put a fuzz pedal on there, and it's a lot of fun. So this is my first one in today's top 5. Very cool 1958 Les Paul Custom. So let me take you back to 1934 in America, the Depression era. Gibson launched the original Jumbo model, which was a slope-shoulder dreadnought, and it was designed to be a better accompanying instrument to vocalists at the time. So the tone was designed to be a bit more in the lower register, to leave space for vocals to sing over the top. It had a price tag of $60 at the time, which was remarkably high given the economic environment. This model didn't sell very well. It was around for a couple of years before it was discontinued, and the model evolved into the J35 and the Advanced Jumbo as well. The J35 being a much more affordable option at $35, and the Advanced Jumbo being the super high-end, all singing, all dancing model, which was available for around $80, I believe, at the time. So the J35 was very much pared back in its appointments, quite austere in that regard. That was around until the early 40s, I believe. And in 1942, if I'm not mistaken, Gibson effectively renamed the J35 the J45. They shared the same specs, and the J45 was born. Now in the 40s, obviously wartime era, that gave rise to the Banner headstock models. You saw a lot of variation with Gibson acoustics at that time, using different woods, different materials, as the war effort restricted what was available for them to use at the time. But by the late 40s, say 1947, 48, Gibson had very much standardized the J45. And that didn't change until around 1953-54, I believe. So what we have here is a 1951 J45 with loads of character that's been used over the years but sounds incredible. It has a very dry, kind of woody, percussive sound, very kind of rounded low end, with a nice kind of soft top end to it. Very good complementary guitar to vocalists. This is your singer-songwriter folk staple. I can't speak highly enough of the model. It's one of my personal favourites. So this one from 1951 has the teardrop celluloid pickguard. You've got the belly-up bridge, mahogany back and sides, obviously some very tight-grained spruce on the top, single-piece mahogany neck, a dot fingerboard inlays, and this is scallop X-braced as well. So Quite light construction, gives you a really nice resonance and good volume and projection as well. So this is my number 2 of my top 5, 1951 Gibson J45. Next up on my top 5 guitars of the week is this very clean 1966 Fender Stratocaster in 3-tone sunburst. The Strat went through many changes in the 60s, as I'm sure a lot of you know. From the early 60s, the 3-tone sunburst with the slightly different red dye, which faded over time, creating a really nice look. That evolved in 1963, where Fender used a more resilient dye to environmental conditions and UV light, essentially. So they tended to retain their color a lot better and stay a lot more vibrant. This model from 1966 has a very prominent, vibrant 3-tone sunburst, often nicknamed the Target Burst, but it looks really cool. These are kind of mid-60s Strats with this spec, sort of slight outliers, as they're not the kind of big headstock, big logo, late 60s, Hendrix style Strats, and obviously it's post spaghetti logo, small headstock, so they kind of sit in quite a cool area. And it's a nice piece of the Strat evolution through the 60s, I think. So the spec on this one, you have a big headstock with a transition logo. You have pearl dot inlays, which replaced the clay dot inlays. The 3-tone sunburst, like I say. This one is slightly more unusual because it still retains the black bottom pickups. A lot of them, well, most of them you see around this period had evolved to the grey bottom pickups, which were a bit more punchy, a bit more pokey. So this is quite cool, sort of slightly earlier spec in that regard. It's all original, in excellent condition. It comes with its original case, hang tags. One thing to note, this one, someone's inscribed what looks like a social security number on the back plate and on the back of the headstock. Bit of an odd thing to do, but it's something that we do see now and again as people wanted to identify their instrument. But apart from that, this one's been really well looked after. It's number 3 on my top 5. It's available now. Just a quick interruption to let you know we have a regular Q&A video here at ATB Guitars, so if you've got any questions about vintage instruments, vintage guitars, the vintage guitar market, any of the specs, please do comment below and we'll try and pop them in our next video. Number 4 on my top 5 guitars of the week is this very nice, very vibrant cherry finish Gibson ES345 from 1968. In very, very good condition. It is all original, including its original case. A great example with a very nice, vibrant cherry finish. Some of the gold plating is worn away from the pickups, as is common, and the bridge as well. But otherwise, it's in excellent shape. A very cool looking guitar. So the 345 sits in between the 335 and the 355. It was introduced at the same time as the 355 back in 1959. It differs from the 335 that many of you will probably be more familiar with in kind of aesthetics and hardware and tonality, I suppose you could say. So the main difference in sound is that the 345 and the 355 were stereo guitars, so you could run them into 2 amps or into 2 inputs of 1 amp. And it gives you a really nice stereo, like a big sound, basically. You have a pickup for each amp, essentially. And along with that, you have a Veritone, which is basically a series of capacitors that can give you some really fun, interesting sounds. You've got a 6-position rotating switch, so a lot of different tones to play with, from kind of thin sounds, so it sounds like it's coming through a telephone, to the full sound of the humbuckers and everything in between. So yeah, a really cool guitar with a lot of different tonal options. Another difference between the 335 is the fingerboard inlays. So these are probably my favourite inlays on a Gibson Semi ES thin line. These are called split parallelogram inlays, whereas the 335 in this period at least would have had block inlays, and the 355 would have had the larger block inlays. But you still have the rosewood fingerboard, maple construction. It has gold hardware, 2 humbuckers, a very, very cool guitar. sometimes overlooked because of its status within the 3 Series line. So as I say, a lot more people will be familiar with the 335, but the 345 certainly has its place. I think it's a great looking guitar, and with lots of sounds in it. This is a great find, we think. So not only a cool sounding guitar and playing guitar, but a great investment. Comes complete with original case, available now. And last but not least, a very, very nice 1961 Gibson Les Paul Jr., or more commonly known as the SG. So this one is 1961, so it's it still retains the Les Paul Silkscreen on the headstock before that was removed a year later. These are great guitars. They're really, really lightweight, excellent to play. They sit really nice if you're sitting down, and they sort of they balance quite well with the strap as well. I'm a big fan of them. The tone can be quite punchy, lots of attack from the single P90, and you've got the 2 anchor points, obviously, of the wraparound tailpiece and the nut, which makes for a very, very simple guitar, but one that's very usable, and that is pretty much plug in and go. Volume and tone knobs, obviously, so you've got a bit of versatility there, but they're very responsive, and they will kind of respond well to the player in terms of dynamics and playing style as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this model. This is a really nice example. It's clean, not been used much over the years. It's been refretted. I believe the pickguard's been changed as well, but it's only just come in, so we'll pop it on the bench, give it a full appraisal, and it'll be on the website soon. But yeah, I thought I'd show it to you guys before, so you get a sneak peek. But this is my number 5 in my top 5. So for my bargain of the week, here's a very cool 1960s Harmony Meteor. Harmony, a really cool brand, a catalogue brand back in the 60s, sold through the Sears catalogue. They made quite a lot of these, but in today's market, I think they represent really good vintage value. This is semi-hollow construction, so a spruce top, maple back and sides. You have a really nice flamey maple there as well. So the quality of the woods is really good. This one's had some running repairs over the years. It's definitely been used. You have the gold foil moustache pickups that are quite cool. They look great and they sound good as well. Give you a nice vintage tone. It's versatile. It has really cool vintage looks, a lot of character, and it's available. It's just come in. It's going to be priced at $995. That's my bargain of the week. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching, guys. That was my top 5 of the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. You can also follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. We have lots of cool vintage content going up every day. So we have t-shirts and calendars available on our website. Don't forget to check out ATB Guitars for all of the guitars that have been featured in today's video as well. All right, thanks for watching again. We'll see you soon.